Let's bring in Sarah Feinberg. She's the former president of the New York City Transit Authority. She's also a former senior Obama administration official. One of the roles she's had, Federal Railroad Administrator. Sarah, I'm so glad you're here. I have got questions for you. Up until just a few months ago, you were in charge of our subways.
Yep.
Right now, people are petrified to get back on the train. Would you ride the subway tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. I rode the subway here tonight, and I take my daughter on the subway every day to go to school, because even on the darkest day and the scariest day, the New York City subway system is still the safest and most efficient way to get around this city.
Earlier today, the current head of the transit agency praised the crew who quickly pulled the other train out of the station amid all that chaos.
Yep.
Are the teams trained for something like this?
Well, the teams at New York City Transit are the most professional, most highly trained workforce in this country. Every day that I was president of New York City Transit, it was such an honor to work with them. So they are quick, they're professional, they know exactly what they're doing, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do today, which was they saw the chaos on the platform and they pulled the train out and they got a lot of people to safety.
There are so many questions right now about surveillance cameras in the station and why they weren't working. Does every station have them, and who's responsible for making sure they work? It seems like whenever you need them, they're broken.
Yeah, so there are now cameras in every single station in the system, which is huge. There's 472 stations in the New York City Transit system, which is the largest number of stations in the world for a system. When I became president of New York City Transit a little more than 2 years ago, I think 35% of stations had it. We absolutely said, we're getting cameras in every single station by the end of 2021, and kudos to New York City Transit. They did it by September of 2021. So are there enough cameras? I don't think there are enough cameras yet. I'd like to have cameras on every single platform.
How many of them are working?
Well,
because when it counts, yeah, it seems that they're not.
So I don't know the details of why the specific station's cameras weren't working. My guess is that the cameras were working and that the feed was down. I think we'll find out more tomorrow. I think the New York City Transit, MTA will have more to say, because I'm sure they're looking at that. My guess is the cameras were working and the feed was down. There are old cameras and there's new cameras. So there were existing cameras in the system. 35% of stations had them. Hardened old cameras, good technology that feed back to NYPD and feed back to MTA. In recent months, we've been putting new cameras in the system, smaller, less expensive, more agile. You go to the camera, you know an event has happened, you go to the camera, you pull the card, you download the footage. Every day, the NYPD is putting out photos of folks they're looking for, they want tips on. Those crimes didn't all happen in the subway stations. They had happened topside, and then people come down to the subway stations, and our cameras capture them. So we've been helping the NYPD for years to find all kinds of folks they're looking for, because that's how good the camera system in the system is.
Earlier today, Mayor Adams sounded open to possibly installing something like metal detectors or some other security technology. That sounds good. People, feel safer.
Yeah.
But is that realistic? We've got over 3 million riders every weekday.
Yeah, I didn't hear what the mayor said. My guess is he is looking for new technologies that can improve safety, and that's great. We should have that. Metal detectors in the system, I think, maybe is a one-off where you're going to a big event, but throughout the system, that's going to shut the system down and slow it down. Before the pandemic, we had 9 million riders a day, right? 9 million people were using the system every day. It's going to be hard to get back to that number, but you certainly don't get to that number if you're standing in line at a metal detector, so that would be tough.
How much does what happened today hurt the efforts to get back to that number?
Look, it's hard, but anytime there is a one-off attack, an active shooter, a terror incident in the United States, we always hear from our elected officials and from others who are supposed to be protecting us, this is a one-off, generally you're safe. The same thing goes here. People are generally safe. The New York City subway system is the safest way to get around New York. Put my kids in it, I wouldn't put them in a car, right? I don't like them in cars. I feel safe in the subway system. But there's a difference between a system that is safe and a system that feels safe. And right now, the system doesn't feel safe. And it's not just because of what happened today. It hasn't felt safe for large groups of people for quite a while now,
Why?
For a couple of years. Well, look, I think it's one thing to walk into the subway system as a man in your 30s or 40s or 50s and have the world, as your oyster. I think it's another thing to walk into the subway system right now as a woman, as an elderly person, as someone who's vulnerable, as an Asian American, and feel safe. That's a different That's a different feeling, and it doesn't feel good to large swaths of the population right now. And I think to the mayor's credit and to the governor's credit, to the former governor's credit, they recognize that early. They're talking about it a lot. They're taking a lot of the steps that they need to take to make sure that people feel safe. You live here. I live here. For your viewers who don't live here, the city doesn't work if the subway system doesn't work. And it doesn't work if people aren't using it because they don't feel safe. So we have a ways to go.
All right. Sarah Feinberg, so great to have you here tonight. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you.